Mox.
He's old, he's fat, he hasn't been laid in years.
Oh! Mox-o-Meter.
Alright, we're moving right along. Now at number 15 of my favorites of 2010 is Alice in Wonderland. Now, of course, this was the Tim Burton directed version, and starring Johnny Depp as the Mad Hatter, Anne Hathaway, and newcomer Mia Wasikowska. And you know, it was a good movie. This kind of fell a little bit for me. When I first saw it, I really liked it quite a bit, but it's kind of fallen a little bit for me just because repeated viewings, it's gotten a little boring. And but it's still a very good movie, visually entertaining, and Tim Burton, of course, is always wacky and out there, and Johnny Depp is always, you know, whenever he's on screen, he does a great job. He's a very magnetic personality, and it's a good movie. But like I said, it just kind of, I probably, 6 months ago, I would have put this in my top 10. But it just fell up just a little bit, and but it's still very good, and very entertaining, and it's you know, great performance by Johnny Depp. You know, it's just very loony and out there. So that's number 15, Alice in Wonderland. Okay, and at number 14 we have Date Night, which was a very funny piece of fluff, I guess. Just a nice little comedy with Steve Carell and Tina Fey, who play husband and wife who get into all sorts of wacky adventures on a date night. And you know, they're a great combo together. And back when we were doing Second Peak, Nick and I kind of likened it to kind of a modern day Cary Grant, Audrey Hepburn kind of thing. And just a lot of fun. They really worked off each other very good, and it's an enjoyable movie. I think probably most people have seen it, and it's you know, it's just one of those feel-good movies. You have a smile all the way throughout, and Steve and Tina were great. So that's really all to say about that one. There you go, number 14, Date Night. Alright, moving right along, we're here at number 13, and we have Iron Man 2. This, of course, is the sequel to the highly popular original Iron Man with Robert Downey Jr. as the Marvel superhero, Tony Stark. And it's, you know, it's probably not as good as the first. It's definitely not as good as the first, but it's still, I thought, a very enjoyable adventure movie. You know, Robert Downey Jr. is just great in almost everything he's in. He's a very likable personality in this movie. And, you know, Gwyneth Paltrow returns, does a good job. Don Cheadle takes over for Terrence Howard and did a good job. Mickey Rourke is kind of like your standard bad guy, just kind of just supposed to look tough, and with the tattoos and the accent and everything. He does a good job. Probably the scene stealer of the movie is Sam Rockwell as Justin Hammer, and you know, he's always a top-notch supporting actor in everything he does. If you haven't seen the highly underrated Moon, came out last year, please go ahead. He does a great job. And but he's a scene stealer, does a great, good, smarmy kind of you know, performance. He's the anti-Tony Stark, and you know, it was enjoyable, and a little bit more action in the first movie, and it's just getting me excited for this Avengers movie coming out next year, and Thor and Captain America, and you know, looking forward to these Marvel movies. It's awesome. So that's number 13, Iron Man 2. Okay, now at number 12, we have 127 Hours, which is the true story of Aaron Ralston, who was caught for 127 hours in a cavern. His arm was pinned, and he had to cut off his arm to get out and survive. It's played by, and Aaron's played by James Franco. So this is very much for almost the entire movie. It's a one-man show. kind of like, you know, Tom Hanks did in Castaway. But this is James Franco. You know, he has his arm pinned in this boulder, and the movie revolves around basically him, where you need to stay interested in him while he's going through this ordeal. And James Franco does a great job. It's a great acting performance, and you know, it's a very interesting movie. It's if you can sit through it, you know, because it's a little bit over 90 minutes, but it's basically just a one-act play. If you really look at it, I mean, there's a few other scenes here and there, but it's a one-act play in this little claustrophobic area where you have to really learn and to feel for James Franco and kind of go through what he's going through. And it's a good movie. It's from Danny Boyle, who directed Slumdog Millionaire, 28 Days Later. He's a great director, and great performance by James Franco. You know, you really need an actor as talented as he is to carry this kind of performance, and so it's very good. Give it a shot, and it's 127 hours here at number 12. Okay, we're almost into the top 10, and now here at number 11 is Scott Pilgrim versus the World. And this, of course, is the Michael Cera starring and Edgar Wright directed film about a guy who has to defeat his new girlfriend's seven evil exes. Now, it's kind of made in a very funny kind of arcade type of way. A lot of the fight scenes and stuff, it's, you know, it's kind of like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, where you have you know, a little score on each side and how well Scott Pilgrim's doing in the fight. And it's a very fun movie. It's got a great cast with Michael Cera, of course, Jason Schwartzman, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Chris Evans. So it's got a great cast. It's a fun movie. You know, it's very likable, and I think the thing about it is it's got a great supporting cast, which makes it interesting. Michael Cera's a good actor, but he's basically he plays himself in almost every movie. It's really hard to distinguish him, you know, between being kind of different. But so the thing that really sets this movie apart is the supporting cast, his friends and family, and they're really good. Edgar Wright, of course, directed it, and he did Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead. Super talented director, and he's it's a visual, fun movie, and if you haven't seen it, give it a look-see. So that's Scott Pilgrim versus the World, right outside of the top 10 at number 11.